For those of you new here, this is the advisory board for the Little Cal River Commission. It's basically a way for all communities in the watershed to know exactly what's happening in other communities. They're going to fill out, you guys fill out applications, and then ultimately the presentations are sort of judged by everybody in this room that are the appointments. The only people that don't have appointments are New Chicago and Cedar Lake, and I'm not afraid to say that. So they're just gonna not have an opinion. So after the presentations are done today, I'll put out an email. Everyone's gonna respond to me individually as to what their opinion is so that you're not necessarily offending another city or community. And then the next step would be for these applications to go in front of the full board of the commission. They'll probably be a little bit more in depth at that point where the commission will ask you questions and then it gets voted up or down. And away you go. And unfortunately, we're coming into the holidays, so we're gonna try to squeeze some of these in at our November meeting, and then you won't have any at the December meeting, and then we'll go full on in January. So if you have a project that is needing to go and that you've already bid out, that would be important to tell us so that we can get you in November. An engineering project, probably not gonna go in November, more than likely gonna go in January. Couple warnings. The microphones, when they go on, are very sensitive. So if you want to have a sidebar conversation or you want to say nice things about me, more than likely they'll get picked up. So my suggestion would be is if you got to do something or you want to talk to someone, go out in the hall. We have a conference room back here that you can talk to. And other than that, we'll start with I believe Lake County has two applications, Schoon Ditch and Dyer Ditch. There's Thomas, who is going to be speaking. We're going to hit the lights. And if you have any questions of me, feel free to ask. We're not doing icebreakers here with this many people, so.
And feel free to come up for seconds too at any time.
Agendas, here, you can borrow mine. There you go. All right. That's all right. Bill already took mine once. I stole it back. So did we share the screen? We're good. Thomas is good.
Yeah, we're good. And I just want to point out that all I see is some big purple thing that's in last place in the NFC North. But Joe Wilk is going to actually present the two surveyors office applications. So go ahead and share. Take it away, Joe.
Yep. All right, sharing my screen. Can you guys see it?
Yes.
All right, great. I'll start out. This is Joe Wilk from Christopher Burke Engineering. On behalf of the County Surveyor's Office, I'll be presenting two projects. First one up is the funding request for Schoon Ditch Maintenance Project. This is located in the town of Munster. You can see on this map here from Calumet Avenue. It parallels Fisher Street and the NIPSCO right away down to the east and discharges into Hart Ditch. At the end of that photo. All right. So what I'll be going through quickly today is some background, historical context, the project scope, right, maintenance activities we're planning to do, as well as the request and benefits from this project. All right. So a little background. Schoon Ditch, crucial role in managing stormwater drainage for the town of Munster. It has about just over 2 square miles of drainage area where it's confluence with Hart Ditch. Proper functioning ditch really helps drain floodwaters from the town, nearby homes, businesses. Fisher Street, which is a critical roadway for community hospital, which is located just across from the ditch within the project area. So some past work that's been done by the surveyor's office in the town of Munster, roughly about 20 years ago, the two combined to address severe bank erosion along this stretch. It's about a 1.4 mile stretch of ditch. They lined it with riprap from toe to top of bank and placed, again, a lot of that hard armor of riprap and really help convey or help ditch flow, help conveyance capacity in the waterway. And as you can see in this photo, there's some riprap on the bank opposite from where I was standing, and vegetation's grown in, started to really overtake the area, and there's plenty of debris and invasives within this corridor that is inhibiting flow as well as just water quality and ecological benefits. So importance of ongoing maintenance, specifically to this area as well as all waterways, regular maintenance, control vegetation growth, sediment buildup in this photo. This is along Fisher Street, right by the hospital. You got some sediment mounds building up in the middle, which is really starting to inhibit the low flow, base flow on this waterway. And just a whole list of stuff that really helps keep waterways functioning, that maintenance items. So current project scope. So first off would be removal of invasive and overgrown woody vegetation. This is further downstream in the NIPSCO right away. I was walking in the center line of the ditch, and a lot of debris and overgrown vegetation, which is starting to overtake this area. And as I've mentioned before, start decreasing capacity in the waterway. Sediment removal, I showed in the last couple of photos, but here, this is right at the Columbia Avenue culverts. There's the BP pipelines traversing there in the photo. A lot of vegetation and sediment and stone riprap have sloughed off into the channel and starting to inhibit the cross-sectional area of these culverts in the ditch. So we're looking to reestablish that waterway opening that was there 20 plus years ago. Doing this with a whole slew of hard armor and soft armor. This is the upstream side of the Columbia Avenue culverts, where you can see on that right hand, that culvert's blocked probably about 15 to 20%. We would look to remove sediment and rock in there, put in gabia baskets to stabilize that bank along Fisher Street, and to make sure that water is, for these very large storm events, able to flow through this culvert and not back up onto Fisher, which again is a critical access roadway for the community hospital, as well as a mix of native seed mix and biodegradable erosion control blankets to near the pedestrian bridge at the high school there, just to downstream of this photo, to give that more urban area, more natural feel and look to it. So funding necessity and some benefits. This project has been bid out, and the contract amount is for $647,500. The request to Little Cal would be 50% of the actual construction cost for this project. So these are the benefits that this project would provide for the waterway in the area. Right, flood risk mitigation, making sure water's flowing freely and not on the roadway near the hospital. Improving biodiversity habitat, really cleaning up this waterway, making it beautiful for not just the wildlife, but also the residents nearby and the people who use the existing pedestrian trail located along the NIPSCO right away that is in frequent use by staff at the hospital, patients if they're willing and able to, high school students, and just the local community, as well as water quality preservation. Stopping there's a few patches of erosion, which is the riprap is sloughed off into the channel, as I've said, where we'll perform some Band-Aid work along the stretch, but holding up pretty well, and we're looking to keep that going for the next 20 to 25 years. And that is it for Skunditch.
Are there any questions for Joe?
I would just add that the town of Munster, the schools, Munster schools, and the community hospital, we had a meeting here to coordinate access and everything like that. I appreciate all their work on that. So thanks to the town of Munster for helping. NIPSCO, it's big, yeah. There's a lot of coordination with school and the hospital being there. So
this is strictly maintenance, no redesign of anything.
Yeah.
When was the last time maintenance was done on this waterway?
it was 20 years ago. The
Minor maintenance on, yeah.
20 years. And only real, I think reconstruction was at Columbia, right? Joe, gave me a basket that's gonna open up.
Correct, for this project. That would be, so this is downstream at Hard Ditch. let me go back in these photos. Yeah, here. So this is looking, water's flowing right to left across this photo. And we put some gaping baskets here to increase this, flow area through the culvert. So it's not backing up water, creating a pinch point.
Anything else? All right. Go move on to the next one.
All right. Figure that out. 1 second. Am I still sharing?
Yeah.
Okay. Stop sharing, share a new screen. Oh boy. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what screen I'm sharing right now. I'm not used to Zoom too well.
It's your fantasy football lineup.
Here we go.
If this was my meeting, you'd be criticized by the chairman for not getting it done faster, so it's okay. We're not putting any pressure on you.
All right, am I showing the funding request for Stream Bank along Dyer Ditch?
Yep, you're good.
All right, fantastic. So next one up, 202. This is Dyer Ditch. This project is both in the town of Dyer, town of Sherrville, right at Deer Creek Drive and St. John Road, just about a half mile north of US 30. So again, same thing, overview, need for stabilization, funding requests and what measures we're going to implement. This photo is on Deer Creek Drive looking south on Dyer Ditch there in the project area. So a little background as well, Dyer Ditch. This part of Dyer Ditch is nearby T-Bowl Nature Park. It's just downstream. It's got around 6 square miles of tributary area, so quite a large drainage area at the project site we're looking to perform work on. And this is a good picture that shows the state of Dyer Ditch in this area, which is overgrown with invasive woody vegetation, trash and debris starting to accumulate through here, and banks really with
Joe, you haven't advanced the slides.
Huh. You don't see the picture here?
No.
What the heck?
Can we see the cover?
But you need to put it in presentation.
Yeah, go to slideshow and hit start.
Turn it off and turn it back on again.
He's recently married.
There's no stop share button.
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
Slideshow and that'll say.
oh, hot mic.
Okay.
We did it Crown Point right off. Who do they play this weekend?
Presentation.
While we're waiting for a second, you can do seconds, I've been told. It's okay. We don't want leftovers.
That's the right photo though. No, this can't be it.
Garbage is underneath the sink.
Sorry.
Coffee maker.
Tip your waiters and waitresses, please.
So Vikings are still in 4th place.
You were. I am on that. Man, this is tough. Oh, here we go. All right. I think we're back.
There you go.
All right,
I blame me and no one else.
that's all right. Good.
All right. So back to our regularly scheduled program. This is that photo now of Dyer Ditch I was talking about that shows the state of disarray that it's currently been going or finding itself come to is trash and debris, overgrown woody vegetation, and banks that are the really bare soil that have not much stabilization to them. So what we're looking to do, this is more photos, some residential landscaping features on the left-hand side of this photo would be, you know, your standard erosion control techniques, making sure the ditch remains functional for flow events, and really enhancing the aesthetics of this, because right now it's not too aesthetically pleasing to look at, per se. So key goals and desired outcomes, right? Erosion reduction, infrastructure protection. There's St. John Road just on bank opposite from this photo. Habitat quality improvement, and then just really long-term sustainability to keep Dyer Ditch, like many of the other waterways the surveyor's office has been working on over the past dozens of years to keep them stabilized and flowing freely for these storm events. So 3 big things are sedimentation impact, right? The eroded banks, sediment sloughs off, falls in the channel and tends to stay there. Loss of riparian vegetation. As you see on this photo, it's looking pretty bleak on the bank just to the bottom there, and then threats to aquatic life as well. Water turbidity and other things which threaten them. This is actually about 20 years ago when this area was developed from ag field to subdivisions. Surveyor's office went and did some stabilization with filter fabric and some other measures on certain parts of this stretch of Dyer Ditch. And over the past 25 years, it started to fail, and we're looking to take out this filter fabric and really get more of a green bioengineering techniques to install and to preserve the area.
Mhm.
Again, threat to properties, the roadways there. Just another photo showing how bare that soil can get on this stretch. More as well. So proposed solutions. Shrub and tree planting, and some more green measures, bioengineering measures, native vegetation planting with biodegradable erosion control blankets, as well as the structural riprap at the bottom few feet to protect from their higher velocity water, which comes from your quick and intense rainstorm events. This photo here is from Heart Ditch project we designed and constructed a couple years ago, showing how we throw that stone riprap at the bottom few feet and then try to have a more green and aesthetically pleasing mid to upper half stream bank where the water is not reaching as much throughout the year, and gives a chance for vegetation to establish while not being inundated by water more frequently. So timeline, we're currently in the process of securing permits and finalizing the plan set to go out to bid, hoping for the construction to start late winter of 2026. And obviously, we do a lot of post-construction monitoring, go back to these sites to make sure they're staying up to speed and that no Band-Aid or repair work is needed. This is another project on Heart Ditch. This is at White Oak Park. This was taken probably about 2.5 years ago. So refunding request for this project. The estimated construction cost is 1.5 million. So the funding request is at 50% of that, which would be $775,000 to perform this work. It's about a 0.3 mile stretch of Dyer Ditch, 0.4 miles in stream length. So conclusion, we're at addressing the erosion problems, creating sustainable solutions, and really having that community and environmental benefit. And this is also on Heart Ditch, this photo, just south of White Oak Park, where before the work was completed, you couldn't even see 5-10 feet in front of you, and it was vertical cliffs that surveyor's office and Little Cal came through, completing this work, and now the vegetation started to really grow through and really enhance the waterway. That's all I got. Thank you.
Any questions for Joe?
So where does this project start and where does it end?
Back to my cover sheet. Starts at Deer Creek Drive, so just to the north of Deer Creek Drive. You can see my cursor here. We'll do some work on that culvert sediment clearing in there. It's starting to really fill in. And then traverses back just to the bottom of this screen here. You can see my cursor on Stillwater, or I can't see which street name that is there.
Smith's Funeral Home over there in Dyer, it would just be between like Smith's Funeral Home up to Deer Creek, from what that looks like, that length.
I know the area. You're not going all the way as far south as Route 30?
Not in this phase.
Not in this phase.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just because
Give
of
me a
call.
better understanding.
Which phase?
discharge?
Meets in Briar Ridge, Hart Ditch and Dyer Ditch meet in Briar Ridge, right south of Main Street.
No, eventually gets to Hart.
And it gets to Hart.
The Hart ditch. That's where it eventually goes.
This didn't go out to bid yet?
Does not.
Okay, so just the engineer's estimate on that.
Correct.
And then that culvert work and all that, are there anticipating engineering plan for that, or is it replacing kind, or what's gonna be the?
I think I heard the culvert work. I didn't hear too well, but it's all sediment removal in that culvert.
So basic, it's gonna be maintenance from A to B.
Correct.
How does our ditch connect to the Little Cow?
It continues north and then like through by Waker Park up to the Little Cow. And there are some large detention ponds, we call them the Teeble ponds over there, at this confluence just north of here that also need maintenance, but it's a big drainage feature there as well. Not part of this project. This is all bank repair, and we'd also thank Brian Lane, he gets a lot of the calls on this ditch, and I've walked it with Brian and appreciate your help on this one.
The erosion's really bad on there, and I will say those backyards look really long there along the ditch because there's also like a 40-foot pipeline easement that runs through there. And over the years, I mean, some places 20 foot from outside the ditch, that erosion. We're doing a lot of education out there too, teaching people, don't be dumping your grass. You can't really, they want to do gardens all the way up to, just trying to teach them how to respect the river.
Looks like it's getting close to the road. There's any erosion, is there any worries about target not, but
I haven't noticed any problems like that with the road at all.
During the 2008 incident, this area was backed up hugely. The subdivision on the Cherville side was storage was occurring in the streets and in the front yards. It was a very critical area. Fortunately, only a few houses took water during that event. And most of those were due to sump pump failures.
Anything else from the county or interested parties?
Oh, that's all we got.
All right. Thank you. The next application is from Cherville. You can sit at your seat. We were gonna make you go sit at the podium, but we figured everyone's sort of comfortable right now, so if you can do it from your seat. Or you can stand, however you want to do it. All right.
Good afternoon, my name is Chad Nondorf, I'm the Public Works Director for the town of Cherville. We're looking for funding opportunity for our SCADA telemetry to our 3 stormwater facilities in town. What is SCADA? That's supervisory control and data acquisition. That is a picture of our water department SCADA system as it sits right now. This thing's about 26 years old and is in the process of getting replaced right now. That this handles just all our water department stuff for now, but we, once they redo it all, looking to have the stormwater facilities added to it. Remotely monitor allows personnel to monitor conditions real time. Data collection allows data to be gathered and evaluated. Control capabilities enables control of the machinery and equipment. And our SCADA system will be used to monitor stormwater systems and enhance efficiency and reliability. So these stormwater stations are located in 3 spots in town. One is called the Stonebridge Subdivision Stormwater Pumping Facility. Number 2 is the Starlight Summer Stormwater Pumping Facility. And number 3 is the Hartsdale Pond Stormwater and Pumping Facility. I'm gonna start off with Stonebridge. That's a picture of the station and the vertical pumps that suck about a 2 or 3 acre pond down. There's 2 30-horse motors there with 12-inch vertical style pumps. Discharge piping is 16-inch. It's then pumped over into the Lake County regulated Cherville ditch along Deer Creek Drive. This facility drains the Stonebridge subdivision pond, as well as sections of Eagle Ridge Drive and sections of the US 41 commercial corridor. There is a natural gas backup generator on site for emergency use. Starlight facility is an older facility in the middle of a low-lying neighborhood. It has 2 submersible 20-horse pumps. Discharge piping is 6-inch and eventually flows to the Hartsdale Pond via the Central Avenue ditch. This facility drains areas south of US 30 and east of 41, and there is no backup generator present. Hartsdale Pond off of Kennedy Avenue on the west side of the road, north of the CN Railroad tracks. That's a picture of the station and the site. It has 2 submersible 100-horse pumps. Discharge piping is 12-inch. This facility drains the 21-acre Hartsdale retention pond into the Spring Street ditch. This facility receives water from the Central Avenue ditch network near the Sherwood Golf Club and includes stormwater from downtown Cherville. This is a Lake County owned facility. Cherville's been monitoring this facility for about 15 years or so on a weekly basis. What will be done as part of the project at each one of these stations? We got price quotes from Austin Electric. They will there will be control panel electrical drawings, cellular modem, cellular antenna, a PLC, analog input cards, transducers, OIT screens, battery backup, integrate into the water department SCADA. Basic alarms on the system, power failure, backup failure, or battery failure, I'm sorry, comm failure, pump failure, high and low levels of the wells. SIM card with, that'll go to Verizon for the alarm purposes, and a provision modem for system. The cost to implement this was $46,733 per station. The total cost of $140,199. Funding source, we're looking for 50% match of overall cost for the project, which would be $70,099.50 from the Little Cal. The remaining 25% would come from town stormwater funds, and the Lake County Surveyor's Office gave us a verbal commitment on 25%.
Get my checkbook right here.
Summaries, these stormwater facilities prevent flooding in shareable homes and businesses as well as other areas. A more reliable alerting system that will send alarms to the water department SCADA system when failures arise would be extremely beneficial to prevent flooding and ensure quality of life, as well as dry basements during storm events. This is something we've been talking about doing for a number of years. I think it works out good that we're in the process of rebuilding this water department SCADA system. I think the time is now to do it while we're doing all this other. You guys have any questions for me?
Any questions?
I think one other quick thing to add is that the new SCADA system is gonna have remote access. These guys are gonna be able to access it through their phones and remote computers. So during an event, they'll be able to log into the system and see what's going on at those stations.
In the past, this is just something where we sent the guy out on Fridays, every Friday throughout the year, check it. If something happened Saturday to Thursday, we had no idea until we went back there that next week. Unless we got a call from somebody that a pond didn't drain or something happened like that, so. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I was wondering, is there any maintenance involved? Do you have to have a specialist come in and fix it or?
If something goes down, Austin Electric out of Griffith has been our
Okay,
water department SCADA people for years. That's where I got the price quote from, and that's who's building out the water department SCADA right now for us.
okay, sounds good.
And we cover the maintenance on, or anything that comes up maintenance wise on Hartsdale Pond.
The county's always been good. If something goes wrong, we get somebody out there, call them. So win-win for both of us.
I just don't like it when Chad calls me on a Friday and says the pumps are down and I gotta get somebody out there on a Saturday, so.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right.
All right. Anything else?
Thank you, everybody.
Apologize to Dan.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. And so you already have the number and you're ready to go.
Yep, we can incorporate it while this is all getting built out over the course of the winter.
So is there a time sensitive or you still, is it ready to be installed right now?
If they would have to order the equipment, it's probably months out to get all that specific equipment in that,
Yeah,
you know, that box. with-
I'm just trying to figure out in my head when you go
I
next
would
to.
guess late winter, spring, by the time if this went down, we could have Austin Electric order all this and get it in. They'll build the cabinets off-site, test them, and then drop them in.
We just got done doing the same, so I understand not having to go out there at whatever time in the morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you. Next Griffith, who's doing it for you? Jake? Oh, nope.
I got it.
Got it. Just introduce yourself and you can roll.
Good. My name is Alex Wesker. I'm with Butler, Fairman and Seifert. I'll be presenting on the Avenue H extension on behalf of the town of Griffith. This project is located in Griffith, at the intersection of Avenue H and Colfax. Some context to the northeast are commercial developments. The closest one would be Calumet Industries. They are experiencing standing water issues on their property. And then to the southeast are two residential subdivisions, Trail Creek and Turnberry. Turnberry is in the process of expanding through a phase 2 that's going through plan commission at the moment. Both of those residential subdivisions currently only have access off of Colfax. So the residents, the town, and emergency personnel have all expressed some concern about only having one access. For this project, we'll be extending Avenue H roughly 1,500 feet from Colfax to the unnamed tributary of Turkey Creek on the east end. It'll include approximately 1,100 feet of storm sewer ranging from 12-inch down to, or up to 24-inch. The need for the project arises from a couple different areas. The biggest concern from the town side is the lack of residential access down there. Like I just said earlier, if there's any kind of emergency, they only have access off of Colfax. So through this and through that Turnberry phase 2, there will be a secondary redundancy access just in case. There is poor drainage for the whole area. Currently, it's all majority wetlands, holds water throughout the year and doesn't properly flow to that unnamed tributary Turkey Creek on the east. And then the last section of it is about roadway safety. Through adding in a new road, we would want to get any standing water off and avoid ponding through the new storm system. The main areas of impact, as I said earlier, the goals are to improve drainage and enhance roadway safety. The main areas of impact are going to be around the Turnberry phase 2. They're going to be adding in approximately, I believe, 39 to 40 new houses in the area. Yeah, and then the Impacts also are through the wetlands, as you can see through the shaded areas that are purple/blue, depending on what monitor you're looking at. Those are wetland impacts. We've gone through the permitting process. We have, I believe it's roughly 0.85 acres of wetlands, equating to 1.8 credits through the in-lieu fee program. We've gone through all the paperwork already. We just have the invoice that needs to be paid for those. There is a little jog in the extension itself. We did that in an attempt to mitigate and avoid the wetlands as much as possible. That one. Some of the other areas of impact on the west and as I said earlier, that Calumet parcel to the north experiences standing water issues. We'll be rerouting their storm pump and allowing it to flow more properly through a real channel. And the NIPSCO property as well that we'll be going through has standing water issues, especially around the Erie Lackawanna Trail that runs through. So by piping it and adding in a couple culverts, we're looking to improve that as well. The total engineering estimate for the project is roughly $2.7 million. The town is requesting a 50-50 cost split for the storm sewer construction costs and the wetland credit costs. I believe it's approximately $550,000 for the storm sewer, and then the other $170,000 is for the wetland credits. So the request to the board would be for $375,000. Any questions?
Is the developer contributing? The developer of Turnberry, is he contributing to Avenue H at all?
So what we're looking at there is, we're only getting the road so far, and then he has to connect, and he's got to contribute to connect to that point. So yes, but not. The majority is still coming from us.
Okay. Who's next phase for that subdivision going on?
Well, it's in the planning stages now. He wants to move forward. He's gonna have to bring in roughly 300 loads of dirt. And, you know, our concerns are obviously safety, fire, other things, bringing dirt through one way through tight subdivisions. So ideally, we'd like to try to get this done and coordinate that with him, so we're not impacting that and those safety concerns. But so we're kind of doing this at the same time. And yeah, you understand what I'm saying with that, or am I clear? So, and the fire department, emergency vehicles, getting in and out of this subdivision and in one way is a huge concern as well for us. And so we're looking at it twofold. We're trying to create that back entrance, trying to get past the pipelines, address the businesses to the north, and then as well for future development. So kind of serving dual purposes.
For the development.
He has a detention. Yeah, he has a detention system to go out this page. I'll ultimately release it into the creek. But it has detention per standard of the county. So this is, I guess, the third part of a system-wide, subdivision-wide drainage system. Permitting that for the wetland aspect of this. Yep, for them, so the developer, you can do it like in lieu. The towns is an in lieu fee. Okay.
Has the right of way been acquired?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there a specific reason why the town's not leaning on the developer more to build the road?
Seems like a gift to do
There's multiple factors with the cost as well as the businesses to the north. So we're and then the bigger issue that we're also looking at a study with Lake County and Little Cal is for the whole end of that town and the whole side of that town by Turkey Creek. So we're all in a partnership now developing a study for the whole issue of the broader solution to that problem. There could be a lot more development here, but we have to figure out where all that water is going to go, how it drains from Turkey Creek and that whole area of town. So this is a small portion of that. The bigger, we're looking for a bigger solution that we're partnering with Little Cal and the county already to help us with that and the whole south end of town and future development. So
the developer is gonna help, you know, by getting some of the road and getting access to it. But there's a lot more that can be done if we can develop the bigger picture after this,
Sure.
that we're doing the whole bigger study on.
So that goes to my last comment on this.
Yeah.
Have you explored residential TIF or any kind of TIF district for this area to help pay for some of this stuff?
So we have not done that.
Okay, might be worthwhile. Residential TIF is super popular right now.
I think the council president's tending to.
Just to your question, Andy, I know to the west of here, I think, no, it would be to the east of here, there's a big, looks like a farm field. Is that the intention then ultimately to move to the whatever phase that's gonna be, is to make that all residential as well?
So, you know.
I mean, I know you can't predict the future. I'm
No,
just
I can't
asking.
predict the future, but ideally we would keep going. And then I think residential would be to the south of what we're talking about. And then probably you're looking more at light industrial or commercial built, you know, warehouses to the north of that road with,
But more
with an
need-
access point off of Reeder Road.
More need for storm sewers then.
Yes.
And probably storage. We had the Gatlin ponds down there that have been
Yeah.
really super successful, so.
That's
I think the idea was to have that on like a corridor.
That's right.
Correct.
Yeah, the town has studied this corridor from Colfax to Hendricks, which portion of this is in Maryville, as Matt would know. To make that connection east to west and allow for that interior development to occur. As Andy pointed out, likely residential to the south, mixed use to the north.
Thoughts of tying in Burr Street?
Trying to think of that on the map. I think that that's all developed over there, hasn't it?
Burr Street dead ends.
And you have the new subdivision in that area, which is what's anticipated to kind of push to the north and the west.
That's why we're asking.
Yeah, so it would be in that way connected to that new development, yeah.
So, cost of this is just for the sewers, right? Not the roadway.
Correct.
Correct. So
The
half
sewers
the
and
cost
what-
of, what, 375?
Yeah, 750-ish.
So the roadway is being covered by town of Griffin.
Correct, that's right.
Yes. We're looking at the total project of $2.7 million.
Right.
So we're asking for 375 for just the storm. And that's an issue. And the wetland credits.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I'm sure Andy's well versed right now at this point.
Now,
Any other questions? Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you, my computer's going here. Next, City of Crown Point, you got two of them. Who's doing it down there?
Eric?
That's pretty quick.
Eric Wolverton with Structure Point, here with Greg Falkowski with the City of Crown Point. So we have two applications here today for consideration. This advisory board. I'll start in order what's shown on the agenda. All right, so this first application is being, I guess, coined Broadway and US 231 stormwater improvements. See on the screen, there's a ditch called Smith Ditch, but I believe it actually is Beaver Dam Lateral 1. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. And so the area that the box there that is on the east side of Broadway, just south of 113th, that is 10 acres that is currently owned by the City of Crown Point, that they're interested in enhancing and providing some storage for the local ditch and the overall watershed. In looking at that as well, there's a desire to look at the ditch as it continues to the south down towards 231. At 231, there's some culverts underneath 231. Just north of there is abandoned railroad that has culverts underneath those as well. As location of the future Veterans Memorial Trail. The set of culverts there are figured very poorly. In fact, during heavy rain events, 231 is flooded in that area. Greg, you want to speak to that a little more?
Yeah, they're at a extreme angle, so the ditch that comes out of all the residential neighborhoods to the south, which we partnered with the Little Cal back in 15 or 16 to fix the conveyance through there. This is kind of the next step. So it hits that hard angle and backs up, floods 231. And if it floods 231 more, it backs up and floods the neighborhood to the south of 231 as well.
What this application is looking to do is obtain funding just for start with the study and then move into engineering and design. As you can see, the city's requesting 80% on a total estimated fee of $310,000. Of note, culverts under 231 would need to be replaced. The city is currently undergoing the design of a roundabout project just to the northwest of here at 231 and 113th. The construction of that project is scheduled in 2027 and will include a full closure of US 231. So the hope would be to take advantage of that closure and do the replacement of these culverts at the same time.
Any questions on this application?
Do you anticipate upsizing the culverts or just realigning?
The ones under 231 and under the railroad would need to be upsized. There's culverts up here underneath Broadway. Those appear to be okay.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the state be responsible for the culverts?
It'll be my question. Have you explored funding with the state?
Not yet. No, we're just kind of identifying the problems now, and we've had more success with working with the state. If we put the design, study, and engineering together and go to them with, here's the solution to your problem, and they've been more receptive to provide funding for the fixes once the initial legwork is done. So our intention is to create that, work with the state, and also work with the county and Mr. Emerson's office with the stormwater, as well as the extension of that bike trail, which I believe has a set estimate. I think Jake's been working on that for the county. So we'd like to stay ahead of that before they pay for the bike trail over top.
Who owns the old Bannock Railroad corridor right now?
Lake County Park.
County, County.
And the 10 acres that's on Broadway was given to the city in the early to mid 2000s as a donation of that commercial development was going on. This was called Green Space and Parks, but it is nothing but a wetland and unusable. So if we can use that as additional storage for holding water in large rain events to provide that relief, I think that'd be a benefit to everyone upstream.
Did you guys have a recreational plan for the recreational portion of that yet, or just kind of stuff?
No, I mean, we just kind of completed a Sowerman's Woods project with the Little Cal. This would be nothing near that. I mean, if a walking path that would connect either one of those neighborhoods was part of it, that would probably be the extent.
So the city of Princeton will cover 20% of the cost for the engineering.
Correct.
Or are you gonna talk to the state?
Yeah.
Because I had history with the state where we fixed one of their problems and they didn't want to throw any money in.
Yeah, but we're going in hoping that we can provide all the details to the state and they would consider partnering. If they don't, when the construction comes around, we're fully prepared to cover all of it with.
Right. I know it needs to be done.
Yeah.
Obviously. But I think the state needs to take responsibility on things that they own. I've seen it in the past.
They don't disagree, and sometimes when you put it on.
Irritates
me. We continually talk about Broadway and the access between 93rd and down to 231. And they were very excited to let us know that they finally moved forward, and we expect to see something in the early 2030s. So that's the speed that the state works at, we like to work a little quicker.
Thank you.
Yes.
And we've had some initial discussions with Dan and Bill on the fever dam lateral. Aware and support, I believe.
All right, you move on to Edgewater if there's no other questions. Not to rush you, just saying. There's still leftovers if you want to eat. Even Viking fans are allowed.
I'm good.
Second.
The coffee.
Lately, Phil.
Yep.
Awkward silence, someone's gotta say something.
Keeping everybody on their toes.
All right.
No, that was good one.
The next application is for culvert replacement just north of Edgewater subdivision in Crown Point. This application is for construction. Previously, the advisory board and the full commission approved 80% towards engineering of this project. American Construction Point has proceeded with the design, and we have plans fully prepared, ready for bid. So at this point, we're requesting 80% on the estimated construction amount. Between the time of the application, which was about a month ago, like I said, we're now ready to go out to bid. We've got some pricing back from some suppliers. And so I did want to note that the estimated construction cost that was noted in the application was at $585. Our current estimate is $660. I did want to make that clear. A little history on the project. Same railroad corridor that we were just talking about, just further to the southeast. There's an existing bridge where there's no longer a structure there. There's just old deteriorating vertical abutments that have been failing. That is undersized, so much so that in a lot of events, see if I can find some of the pictures. The subdivision to the south experienced heavy flooding. Several roadways, several homes completely inundated with storm water. So what this project would do is remove those existing failing vertical abutment walls and replace them with a box culvert. As I mentioned, the plans are ready to go. These are the plans right here. Greg, anything you want to add?
Yeah, it's the same situation of old abandoned railroad corridors that run through the city. We've been working for the past 10, 15 years of taking all those railroad corridors and do multi-use trails. This is the last section leading southeast out of the city heading towards Winfield. We have DNR funds that are going to be applied from the west side of I-65 through a tunnel that was built when the 109th interchange was put in. And we will take that trail from the commercial area on the west side and take it to the city limits at Iowa on the east side, where
Nick will pick it up and bring it all the way to Winfield.
I'll get it done.
Yeah. This culvert area is important for the recreational aspect on top, as well as the conveyance of water north eventually to Little Cal. So it's kind of one part of a multi-part project.
Got all your permitting and everything, or is that still a process?
Everything's ready to go.
What's your time frame then? Soon?
Yeah, we've been told to hold out on bidding, waiting for verification that the commission is gonna be on board with funding the construction, but yeah. So we're ready to bid as soon as we get the go. If you are curious, the plan sheet shows there that it is being replaced with a 9x9 culvert. So some substantial wing walls there due to the embankment of the railroad.
You anticipate any effects to the pond to the north on the other side of the?
Remember that was in the paper that this issue was in the paper. Be a great one to resolve, for sure. Yeah, and during the initial application for the study design and engineer, the commission requested that we basically look at all the railroad corridors to see if there's any other failing areas. And that's when we identified the previous application, and all other crossing fixes for Beaver Dam or Smith Ditch on any of those are all in good condition. So and I guess to note, working with the updated master plan for the commission, both of these projects are identified in that project manual for the city. So trying to check the boxes. Any questions, Dan? Oh, the chicken's great though. See, I told you it's sensitive. Anybody else? Questions?
Anyone want to see my fantasy team? No?
No one's on by. All right, who's next? I don't have my agenda in front of me. We just going down the list. Lake County Parks. Craig?
Yep.
I'm gonna try to be your assistant, which is scary.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that.
What you need?
Yeah, if you could just go down to the map of 3 or 4 down, drawing on the site.
Yeah.
Actually, the next one, if you wouldn't mind, Jim. Yeah.
I'm here to help you.
Thank you. That one right there would be perfect. So. All right. Afternoon, everybody. My name is Craig Zandstrom with Lake County Parks and Recreation. I'm the superintendent planning natural resources, and this is our future Lake Hills County Park site in Cherville and St. John Township. We had made the initial 100-acre acquisition probably about 5 years ago now, and so the hope was maybe to have 100 or maybe 150-acre site at one point in this location, and we've been fortunate that there's been some willing sellers that we weren't anticipating when we first made that acquisition. So, and it's kind of evolved into what it is now, and it's starting to gain a little bit more size. And so from that, we've made the initial acquisition. We acquired the former Spurlock property at 85th and Klein Avenue, and then also the Harvest Ridge Church property at 77th and Austin. Judge Stefaniak lives next to there, and I think at some point we'll be able to acquire a portion of his property to combine those. And then also the county commissioners have about 15 to 20 acres on the east side of Klein Avenue that at some point we'll work with them to transfer that to the park as well, which would also give trailhead access and access from the Cherville Heights neighborhood, which is in unincorporated Lake County. And since that point, we had the McNaughton development folks get a hold of us. They were in the process at one point. They had the option on the first 100-acre acquisition. They were looking at acquiring a lot of the parcels along 85th, and they got 30 acres acquired. And when we acquired the 30-acre Spurlock property, it kind of shot some of their plans. So they are willing sellers now. And so It's not often you'll see a developer in Lake County willing to sell property for open space. And this is probably one of the only ones I've ever seen in my 27 years. So anyways, what this would do for us would give this site maybe a chance to get us to a 200-acre park site at some point. Looking at the Tri-Town area, there's really not another 200 acres of open space in the Tri-Town area for natural open space that's been acquired other than Hoosier Prairie. So this would be one of the larger areas of open space in the Tri-Town area, which I think is important. Also, the site does have some, especially the west half of the site has some really nice hardwoods on it. Munster, bur oak, white oak, shagbark hickory, bitternut hickory, black walnut. Also, there's a small tributary stream that comes in south of 85th that flows in to this McNaughton, that west parcel, which eventually flows into Turkey Creek. So this is basically the headwaters for the Turkey Creek watershed. It probably drains another 80 to 100 acres south of 85th. That and it's intermittent. It doesn't always flow, but during wetter periods, it definitely's got some flow to it. And also, these parcels do probably of the 31 acres that would be acquired. There's probably about 14 acres that are wetland. There's a couple small wetland pockets on the property that would be, of course, preserved. There's also some wetlands on the property that are also on the adjacent property that's already been protected north of it. So you're protecting some isolated wetlands that normally probably would get developed and destroyed if it would be developed. So trying to preserve more wetlands on the site. Also, with the amount of hardwoods on the site, this would do a significant opportunity for more storage in these upper reaches. Then if you put this property with the other eventually close to 200 acres at some point, you're going to be holding a lot of stormwater on this property. We're looking at remeandering Turkey Creek on kind of towards the corner of 77th and 85th. Turkey Creek's kind of been ditched and straightened, especially the west side of the Turkey Creek. Turkey Creek splits at 77th Avenue and it goes through Chapel Lawn Cemetery to the east, and that's not regulated, but the west side of it is regulated all the way down to Lake Hills Park or Lake Hill Subdivision in St. John. So this area would hold more water with some of the plans we'd like to do. We've already looked to NOAA and some other groups to help us with some funding to look at the viability of remeandering Turkey Creek along the toe of the hill there. And so with this site we're looking at now, this 31 acres would be key. We'd be able to extend a trail through the property from the adjacent parkland. Also, you're preserving a lot of green infrastructure in this area, which looking at open space in Lake County, if you tally up Lake County's open space right now, I think we're at about maybe 20 to 25,000 acres, which might seem like a lot, but if you look at Lake County as a whole, we have less open space than pretty much every surrounding county around us, especially the Illinois counties that have a lot more open space that's dedicated. So this is also probably the best low cost, long-term in perpetuity flood control that money can buy, because this property will do flood control for us every day of the year, 24 hours a day. No pumps, levees, any work needed. Once you acquire this property, protect it. It's going to be doing the flood control work for you for forever, really. So also, this area still does have some people that are on wells. So you're protecting some of the groundwater in this area, which helps some of them as well. Some of the initial acquisitions we had at this site, we had a lot of feedback from residents in the area, and they're all thrilled that there's some open space being preserved. So, and also we've been doing some work with Chapel Lawn Cemetery, the little red line between the Spurlock parcel and the other Lake Hills parcel. We're going to be acquiring about a 20-acre wide strip from the cemetery on the south end, which will allow us to connect all these parcels together. So the goal would be at some point from 85th and Klein, there'll be a trailhead at that location, and there'll be a trail all the way to the corner of 77th and Austin. Also, all this will tie into the Pensier Greenway Trail at the roundabout over at Klein Avenue and 77th. We plan on putting a new sidewalk or improved public access along 77th with the help of town of Schererville. So that would help tie all this together recreationally. And that will be where your main public access point will be, is up off 77th. How we're looking at it now, we plan to have another access point off 85th as well. So there's a lot coming together there, a lot of work to be done, but at least acquiring the property first. That's the hard part. That's the part that is the most challenging here in our area. So if we can get this acquired, this would add to the site immensely, and add a lot more recreational benefits. And then also long-term, this does fit into a larger area of open space. If you follow Turkey Creek, like I mentioned, that goes to St. John. They have a park at Lake Hills, which is at the corner of 85th and just south of 85th, basically. So they have a park there, which is pretty close to this Lake Hill site. And then Chapel on Cemetery, they're on board with some of the work we're doing. They've been a great partner. And so they're going to actually do some wetland work with us. And we're going to be enhancing wetlands and creating some more storage on the cemetery. In reality, it's open space as well, the cemetery is. So, and then on the other side of that, we've got the Pencer Greenway Trail, Rorman Park, and then Ileana Speedway. So you've got a nice corridor of open space that's happening through this area, which, in St. John Township, you don't see a lot of open space. So trying to preserve this is really important. So we've got some partners involved. We got Indiana DNR that hopefully with the environmental license plate funds, we'll be putting in some money on this acquisition they have in the past. We'll be applying for an Indiana Lake Michigan Coastal Grant. And then also with these funds and then also some donations that we're getting, I think we should be able to get this acquired. If needed, the developer wants to sell it sooner than later. So in the past, we worked with the Conservation Fund to help us buy these parcels. And then over time, once we get the funds in, then we pay them back for the loan that they give us to help buy it. So if it comes to that, we'll be able to use them. So we're hoping it works out, but any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for a bit.
Total cost of it.
It's 1.55 million for the meters.
You're requesting 475 from us.
Correct.
Correct. Any questions for Craig? All right. You got off easy, Craig.
Thank you.
Sure, the board will be the same with everyone, right? Oh. Flat. All right, I don't have my thing with me. Who's next? So, Gary Sanitary District. All you gotta do is just introduce yourself. You can sit down, do what you gotta do.
I'm Jay Anderson with the Gary Sanitary District. I am the engineer, or the Gary Stormwater Management District, actually is what I'm representing there. And I am the engineer there. We're gonna get into everybody's favorite subject. We're gonna start off with the money, right? What are we requesting? So total estimated cost of the project, this engineer's estimate is 600,000. We're requesting a 75% fund. Give me a second. Let me get this on my way. All right, cool. So that is the request. Now, what is that? 45 or 450,000 getting you? So the project that we're proposing is the redredging and repair of the stormwater sewer system from Birch. Can y'all see my? Nope, y'all can't see it. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me fix that.
You can see the application.
Yeah, you can see the application. I want you to see the screen that I'm sharing now, which is that one. There we go. All right, so we want to repair the stormwater sewer system, which is stormwater, ditches and stormwater pipe from Bird Street all the way east to Clark Road. So this is a part of a greater effort to handle all of the stormwater problems in Black Oak. Black Oak is built on a swamp. There's constantly flooding all over the place. This one has been this one is a part of our focus now because there's and then we'll do this. We'll walk it. Oh, so there you go. We've got a little bit of stormwater drainage. This is actually a while after it's rained, and this was a relatively light rain, actually. So there's a cave in both here. Let's turn over to the left here. There's a cave in here in which the tire is covering up. You know, very beautiful, not an eyesore at all. There's a cave-in that's developed here, and then there's another cave-in that is developed right, actually, where the car is parked. So yeah, right here where the car is parked, and you can see the catch basin right there. Those are the areas that we're desiring to repair. And then, as you've seen in the corner shot, actually this, oh, there you go. As you've seen in the corner shot, in this area, we're wanting to add a catch basin and a storm sewer because this floods quite often. So we're gonna take that, put a catch basin here and then put it right there. And then it'll be conveyed by our system. This is connected via, or the storm sewer system runs all the way down here and is connected to the ditch that starts here. As you can see, as we're walking down the street here, make sure you guys where your hive is. Watch out for cars. All right, there's Phragmite starting to grow into the ditch. And as we know, the added vegetation does not lend itself to proper stormwater sewage flow. All right. And that goes, this ditch continues all the way down, and I'm gonna take you through the long way. So I'm gonna shorten this up a bit. All the way down to Clark Road here, and then shoots across the street at some point here. So the desire, there you go. And so the desire is, let's fix this section. In the future, we would like to do a study of the Black Oak area to one, verify all of the watersheds that exist. Roads have been reconstructed, so a lot of the elevations have changed, I'm sure. And there have been a lot of, or some development, especially with the introduction of the Hard Rock Casino, in this area, in Black Oak in particular. And then there's a desire to start to develop this area as well. So to get ahead of the development, to get ahead of, or at least to handle all of the existing problems, you know, we're starting here and then we're looking to expand outward. I could talk some more, but honestly, I'm the last one and it's getting close to the end of the day. So questions?
I've got 3.5 more hours of work, so I'm good. And a lot of food to get rid of, but.
Can I add a little bit, just a little bit of context?
Sure.
Hi, everybody. I'm Brenda Scott Henry. I'm the stormwater coordinator for City of Gary. And we have done some studies with the Army Corps of Engineers for Black Oak from 21st to 25th, from Burr Street over to Klein Avenue. And the same problem exists in that area as well. So Black Oak, as Javed says, is really swampy, wet and poor drainage. And what a lot of the residents have done over here in order to keep their home from being a part of the heavy rain events, they've filled in some of the ditches. They've created their own drainage system to protect their property. So what used to be ditches are not ditches. They don't allow the water to go there. When it rains, they open up the drains themselves and into our combined sewer. And then the rest is overgrown and of course very blighted. So we do have some studies that have been done. So this project is probably the first going all the way over to 21st to address all of the drainage issues that are in just on the north of 25th Avenue. And then there's a matter of dealing with things that are on the southern end, south of 25th Avenue.
How big's that sewer and what's it constructed of?
Corrugated metal pipe. Yep, the good stuff.
Are your plans to do the repairs or replacements with a more durable product?
Right now I'm thinking perforated PVC. that's kind of what's banging around in my head. That's what I've specified. Oh, by the way, just to add, pretty much 90% complete, done. I've done the design myself, and so it's very close to being ready to go out to bid, just to add that point. But yeah, perforated pipe. I'm using perf pipe.
The areas in the city of Erie is very sandy,
What size?
very sandy. I don't know
What size? 18.
helps with.
18.
18-inch, yep.
Have you evaluated that? Is that sufficient?
That is sufficient. Currently, what exists there is the 18-inch corrugated metal pipe. It is in disrepair based on the amount of ponding and things like that that I've seen in this area. That 18-inch perforated PVC pipe is going to do what it needs to do.
I guess my thought there is my thought would be to get it fixed right, so we're not going back in there in a few years.
That's exactly what I would like to do. Yes. I don't like going back to the same project I just finished. It's annoying.
Is the dollar figure from, did you guys go out to bid for this yet, or was this a dollar figure from your own engineer's estimate?
All engineers estimate.
What's the water table?
Can't tell you that right offhand. I know in this area it's pretty high, but I can't tell you right off.
You said that perforated pipe is just gonna be sucking in groundwater. The elevations.
So based on the CCTV video that I did not show you guys that is in here, but based on the CCTV video, a lot of these pipes are already in disrepair. If they were under the groundwater table, they'd be taking in water like crazy, but they are not. So basic assumption is it's above the groundwater table. And plus this is sandy soil, so if it was under the groundwater table, yeah, there'll be a lot of infiltration into the pipes.
Sinkholes, it's a, public safety issue too, sounds like.
Very much so, correct. And this is, well, I didn't say much about it, but this is a restaurant and these are two stores, a hardware store and a uniform store. And then there's also a plaza over here and then a gas station over there. So people, because there are no sidewalks, people walk this area quite a bit. So yeah, there's a very high risk of public injury, hence the tire being put there, the beautiful tire. Please bring them on. I love questions.
Any more questions?
I see a lot of parking out the right of way there. You work with the business owners, maybe to move parking to the side and kind of make that a safer area too, and maybe open it up for pedestrian traffic and infrastructure.
Yeah, we're working on zoning, especially for these areas that we have lots of structures. So we're updating our zoning codes to accommodate right of ways and heavy traffic roads to put in sidewalk for those areas, especially on Twitter. There is sidewalk if you're from Ranch Street all the way up to maybe before Chase or maybe about Chase. What is that? Clark Road, I'm sorry, Clark Road. And then it stops.
Residential.
Yeah, and because it turns industrial or
Commercial.
someone maybe back in the day just gave the truck. Didn't make those businesses, put those public amenities in place. So we're definitely updating our zoning codes to accommodate.
Okay, when do you think you'll have it done so it'll be out to bid?
So
your estimates, you still gotta do finishing design it, right?
yeah, like I said, it's at 90%. I can have design done. As I told Brenda, under stressful situation, I can have it done within a day. But if I'm given some room, I can have it done within 2 weeks.
I'm just trying to figure out scheduling for our board, that's all.
Yeah, so whenever it needs to be done between now and 2 weeks, it can be done.
I think you got till Christmas.
Oh, that's.
I don't know who's boss, but I gave you Christmas. I don't know what anyone else is.
Thank you, Dan. You're welcome. I can breathe again.
But we're gonna have, we just have a limited number that we can put on the November agenda just because we have other matters that we're gonna be dealing with. So I'm trying to workflow it, so that's all. I'm giving you a whole 6 weeks. There you go. All right, any other questions?
I enjoy speaking with you all. Thank you.
Thank you. With that, hopefully everyone wakes up. Please take some more food with you. Just really quickly, what you'll get, what the representatives or the folks that represent the municipalities will get an email from me tomorrow. To give me your feedback. We will have, by the way, everyone can thank Jodi. She puts all this stuff together.
Thank you, Jodi.
Yeah, thank her. We'll have all this on our website, so if you missed the presentation, you want to read a particular presentation over again, it will be on our website so that, or I sent you the link too.
Should be there, I would say by the end of the week.
Yeah, and so that you can review it and then just give me your feedback. We're gonna want to schedule everyone by next Wednesday or Thursday at the latest. You'll know if you're presenting on the 19th of November. So with that, I'll stick around. I'm sure you guys are all going back to your offices.
I know we are.
Yep, and I will talk to you. Thank you very much.